The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the February 1st, otherwise known as the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. We'd love to hear from you, 877-927-6648. That's the number to call in at. If you have a question, but you can't call in or don't want to call in, you can always send me an email. For that, send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And if you would be kind enough in that subject heading to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, in every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get the show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We got a mixed bag out there. The Dow's down 332. The S&P's 21. NASDAQ's off 57. Russell's down 7. Semis are up 47. Tranny's up 146. Gold is up $1. Silver's down 9 cents. Light Sweet Crude is off 70 cents. Natural gas is down 11 pennies. And the 30-year Treasury printed out 130.04. That is up 8 ticks. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Credit Acceptance Corp up $50. That's a 10% move. That's a big one. Old Dominion Freight Line's up $25, a 7% move. That's a big one. Silicon Laboratories up 13% or $21. Thermo Fisher Scientific up about 20. Baidu up 16. That is a 12% move to the upside there. To the downside is that Mercado Libre down $26. That is 1%. Booking Holdings off $26, 1%. Electronic Arts is down $14. Actually, Mercado Libre is down 2%. Electronic Arts is off for about $15 or 11%. Well, that's a stinger. Equinix is off 1.5%, $11 there. Chubb Limited down 11. IDEX is off at 10. BlackRock is off about 10 as well. So we got plenty to look at, but of course I want to look at what you want to look at. Let's just begin by looking at what's going on inside the equity futures. Well, you'll see out here, if you start in the upper left, you can see that the ES Mini is trading between trend line support and trend line resistance, let alone with inside its daily profile. So even if price can spike above 40.88, it really needs to clear the descending trend line. Now, you could see a spike, certainly up to 41.48. That would go ahead and at least complete the 118 to be equal CD. That does not mean that would be the top. That would just be the price projection level. In the case of the NQ, it already has a confirmed Gartley sell pattern or a confirmed sell the D point. It did that a couple of days ago when it formed that bear sash candle. Now price is just consolidating with inside its profile. Support, which has not been tested. The trend line support was tested yesterday, but the bottom of its profile, 11.808, remains out there as additional support, and 12.208 is resistance. If you take a look at the Dow, kind of a narrow set of profiles out there. Those profiles ranging from 33,716 to 34,179. Price also trading between trendline support and resistance. And here's the canary in the coal mine, and that is the Russell 2000. The small caps out there. What they did yesterday was they took out a swing point. They took out a couple of swing points, really. The larger swing point that Russell 2000, that the equity future contract took out, and the cash industry did it. The IWM did it. Now, I believe it was on light volume. We take a look at those. Nonetheless, you still clear the swing point. You can go ahead and complete those A to B equals CD patterns. So in the case of the Russell 2000, she cleared yesterday that November 15th swing point at 1926. That sets up an A to B equals CD pattern, confirmed or not. That could take us up to the 1989 level out there. So that's what's going on. We take a look at those 4 equity future contracts. Let's not stop there. Let's go take a look at the, let's stay on this screen here, just as long as we're here. We got the New York Stock Exchange, the advanced decline oscillator. What we can see here is that price is still in the bullish market breadth area. It's above the zero threshold level out there, but we do have where we've seen some slightly higher highs inside the New York Stock Exchange, where the advanced decline oscillator has been making lower highs out there. So if there's a tell, this is about the only tell that I've been able to see out here, that would suggest that we should see some type of decline. But don't, pay attention to those profile levels out there with regard to some kind of decline out here. If we take a look at that spot volatile index, and that's especially true as long as that spot volatile index remains below its 50-day exponential moving average. Again, the 50-day currently printed out at 2130, price right now at 1977. Any other tells out here? Not really, nothing that I see. So let's go switch over. Take a look at the multi-panel screen. What the heck happened there? Share your screen. Change windows. Okay. Something weird popped up on my screen, but that was probably Stevie-generated weird. So now what we have is the 8-panel NQ charts out here. And if you go, just start from bottom right, the 10-minute time frame, you've got a TD9 count top. That identified the top. Let's just expand this out here. Maybe the short-term time frames that are really calling the signals between, and when I say short-term, I'm talking 10-minute charts out here, that call the signals, in between now and 2 p.m. when Chair Powell of the Federal Reserve releases its decision on interest rates out there. There is an A to B equals CD pattern. You can see I'm kind of drawing that in here. That is completing as we speak. But it does. We don't have a bullish reversal candle, so I'm hesitant to call that on a 10-minute basis a buy the D point or a Gartley buy pattern. That's the. But you can see that it did complete or it has at least completed the 1-to-1 level. That means true on the 15-minute chart, which had a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Remember, the 10-minute had a TD9 count, so they got 2 short-term charts out there. But here in the 15-minute basis, 2 minutes from now, we could get a bullish piercing candle. Just depends on the close out there, and then that would confirm a buy the D point pattern. What that would then suggest is we should see the NQ make its way up to 12,125. We're 12,107 right now. So not a significant move higher, but that's where price should or could find resistance. That is the center of its bullish structured 15-minute profile. If price gets above that, then the oscillator and change line becomes a target. That's at about 12,131. So we've got a little less than 2 minutes to go on that. We'll see if that bullish piercing candle forms. If so, expect a further bounce. Now, that would make sense, too, that we should see the losses get trimmed a bit as we come into that 2:30 time frame out there. If we look to the other time frames, I don't see anything here on a 30-minute chart. The 60-minute chart has a TD9 count top. In order for price to negate the TD9 count top, price must close above that high, which is at 12,156. That is not unfolded as we speak. What else can we find out here? Not much. The 120-minute chart, nice TD9 count bottom. Price broke through a key resistance level of 12,033. Its next stop could be the 12,210 level. This is Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Would love to hear from you. It looks like we're going to go take a look at GOOS, who has earnings tomorrow. And maybe DCLI. I don't know if that was a request or not. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar, yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Folks, you got the Dow down 310 points. S&P's off 17. NASDAQ 100 is down 37 points as we speak. We're going to go take a look at the first request out here. This is for Canadian Goose. GOOS, the outerwear company out there. Luckily, Stevie doesn't have a need too often to wear well, that doesn't mean I don't wear clothes. It's just I don't wear winter clothes too often, although we did have a very cold New Year's and Christmas down here. But when we take a look at the Canadian Goose, GOOS is a ticker symbol, you could generate a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top today, Dan. Right now, you've got a dark cloud cover. Just depends on where price closes. Let's assume that you do. What would be the signal? The signal here on the daily chart would be neutral. Why would it be neutral? Because price is above the top of its daily profile, 2237. That would be an area of support on a retracement. And price is above the top of its green oscillator and change line, 2292. That says that Canadian Goose has got a rising price oscillator above zero, and that is a bullish signal. Of course, you could get a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That would be a bearish signal. The offsetting call there would be neutral. So right now we are neutral with regard to GOOS on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame shows that price is stalled at a prior swing point. That prior swing point takes us back to August the 12th of 2022. If price closes above 24.34, then you've got a move to the upside. That move to the upside over time could take you up to the 38.12 level. That is a TD9 count breakdown area. So right now you're dealing with resistance. That was established by the bear sash candle the week that formed on August 19th. So that set up the resistance as the high of those two candles, and again, that is at 24.34. If we take a look at the monthly time frame, you have a nice TD9 count bottom that formed out here. Price is above its profile levels as well. Is it above the profile for the? Give me a second here, Dan. I'd like to give you. Yeah, it is. So it is above the. Yeah, it is above the top of the monthly profile. So that's a bullish outcome. So you're bullish, dealing with resistance on the weekly. you're bullish, dealing with that same kind of resistance on the monthly chart as well. The daily's got a potential top today, but still is a neutral signal. And then if we take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart, we'll see a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Price pulls back, tests, and so far rejects $23. That is the TD9 count breakout level. And I think I'm only showing the last 3 up here. I am. Let's just change this, and let me just show unlimited. Just curious. Let me get down here. Let me get this. Let's get and change this to 0. And 0 means show me all of them. And I'm just looking for the TD9 count. So we have not seen, so a goose is not done, Dan. This will be helpful to you. We have not seen goose take out a TD9 count breakout level on a 30-minute time frame. At least we've not seen that at least since January 20th. So I would be watching that more than anything else for signals for you. If in fact those become those buy the dip areas like we saw this morning, and if price does close below it, that could be signaling to you that there's a change in trend. And if you put that together with the daily time frame and a potential top out there, well, then there's the information that I believe that you are looking for. So that is Canadian goose. Now, just out of curiosity, let me see if I can do this here. Well, I know I can do it. Let me see if how do I do this? GOOS. Yeah, nothing comes up on that. Oh, wait, I take that back. So here, Dan, we can do this too. Here is Canadian Goose Holdings out here, and here is their seasonal chart. Let's see what kind of time frames we can get here. We can go back. No, we have is 5 years out here. So that's the total amount of data. So here the red line, Dan, right now, that is showing you where we're at. And this suggests that you could get a rally into the end of next week, and then things really typically over the last 5 years have tapered off. So I don't know if that's an earnings thing that typically takes place. You bought puts yesterday at the close. Okay. So here, here's your seasonal chart. And so it's kind of matching up. We don't use this necessarily day to day. So you could kind of match this with regard to the daily signals out there. But again, I think it is that 30-minute time frame chart that's going to be most helpful to you in your trading decision. So I hope that helps you out, and have a terrific day. And thanks so much for that request. But Dan also had more. And so we're going to go take a look at BCLI. At BCLI, trading right now at the $1.90 level. This is Brainstorm Cell, not Brainstorm. Brainstorm. Is that right, Dan? Huh. Brainstorm Cell Therapeutics. So what is this doing here? Well, today is going to complete bar number 9 of a TD9 count top. That's right up at the resistance level of its bearish structured daily follow. So Brainstorm. So we have to call E-Signal because they've got it listed as Brainstorm out there. So thanks for that. And that certainly made more sense to me, Brainstorm versus Brainstorm. But who am I to say? So what you've got out here is you've got a topping pattern that's going to form today and complete tomorrow. When I say complete, the high can take place on the bar following bar number 9. So that would then suggest that price will pull back. Now, if price closes above the top of its daily profile, which is trading just below right now, the top of the profile is 188. If we were to close above the top of the daily profile, let's say tomorrow also above the top of the daily profile, then your support area on a pullback would be at $1.80. So that's what we got when we take a look at the daily time frame. Nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom out there. If we look at the weekly time frame, all that I can share with you thus far is that price is trading above the top of its weekly profile. And that's at $1.80. Of course, that doesn't matter what it is at 11:24 on Wednesday. It matters where that closes on Friday at 4 p.m. But nonetheless, Dan, a close above 180 would be a bullish outcome that you would be looking for if you are long BCLI, which you're not short BCLI at $1.80 stock out there. So you've got a TD9 count top. Let's take a look at the short term, the 30-minute chart out here. So BCLI, which is going to form a TD9 count pattern here, we can see that this has triggered a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. What's missing is the bearish reversal candle. So I'd kind of keep an eye on the 30-minute chart. If you get a bearish reversal candle, you may get a sell-off. That sell-off could take you down to 171 or 175 out there. But to go along with the topping signal, that TD9 count on the daily time frame, we'd be waiting for some type of confirmation on a short-term chart, such as that 30-minute basis. Lastly, if I take a look at BCLI, this could be day number 3 of a consecutive rally out there. Last time we had a consecutive rally of day number 3, that was on December the 16th, Dan. That then led to a pullback and a retracement out there. So be aware of that. So I would have to say, based upon this chart, based upon what we just took a look at, is you should be expecting and anticipating a retracement in BCLI. And again, depends on where it closes, whether that $1.80. So if price does not close above the top of that daily profile, then where are our support levels? Well, it could be at $1.80, but it could be all the way down at $1.66 out there. So, Dan, thanks so much for the request. I much appreciate it, and have a terrific day out there. Now, I don't know if this was a request, but Duffy had just simply posted some charts about Mexico, the ETF out there, which is EWW. So whether that was a request or not, it is now. And if we take a look at the EWW, right now you've got price consolidated with inside its daily profile. That's between the range of 57.17 and 58.38. So I pulled back this daily time frame chart or open it up just a bit further. We do see an A to B equals CD pattern. Did it complete out here? Well, let's go measure it. That first measurement, we're going to draw the A to B line out there. Then we're going to take that A to B line and we'll take it to the C point out here. So now we'll take that. We'll move over here. And has it completed? I'd have to say no. So I saw that bearish engulfing candle for about 27 out there. So I'm going to say that is not a complete sell the deep pattern. That's EWW on the daily time frame. That suggests if price gets close above the top of its profile, that it should continue to move higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got the Dow trading down 244, S&P's off 11, Nasdaq's down 22, Russell is down 3 points out there. Got to expect or anticipate that the markets might pull back on some of these moves to the downside as we come into that 2 o'clock time frame out there. Before we went to break, we were taking a look at the ETF that represents Mexico. I'm not sure which stocks are inside that, but it is called EWW. And that is Duffy. And as we take a look at EWW, one, we confirm that it has not completed a sell to D point pattern. That's the A to B equals CD pattern. If we look at the weekly chart out here, no bearish reversal candle here in bar number 5 this week. Looks like this wants to continue higher, as does the monthly chart, which last month, the month of January, took out a resistance level that was established back in April of 2022. So everything here looks pretty good. So I'm on board with you, Duffy, in that EWW looks muy bueno. How do you like that? How do you like that little segue into that? Probably not much out here. So nothing really more for me to add on EWW. Let's go to our next request out here, and that comes in from Bob in Spokane. Bob wants to take a look at KTCC. So let's get that up on our screen here, and that is Keytronic Corp out there, having a very nice day. Keytronic right now trading out at $5.10, KTCC. It is taking out a TD9 count breakdown resistance level, 495. That is also setting up an A to B equals CD. That 495 swing point had volume of 173,000 shares. So far today, you have done, or it has done 121,000. So you've got a confirmed A to B equals CD. Let's go ahead and draw that in here. Again, we'll take a look at the A to B point. We'll just simply move that over to the C area, or the C point, I should say, where that was a TD9 count bottom that formed out here. That confirmed on January 30th. Now you can see you've attained the 1-to-1 level out there. That just says be careful. Watch for a bearish reversal candle. If you were to get that, Bob, then that would generate a sell the D point pattern. And then we'd have to take a look at areas on charts where price might find resistance. Now, if you look at the weekly time frame chart, why did price stop where it did today? Odds favor it was that weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level at 524. For those of you not familiar with some of the terminology that I use, TD9 counts, that is a pattern that was developed by Tom DeMark. That's why I call it TD out there. It is a very cool pattern. It is one of the easiest patterns that he teaches out there to learn, and everybody should learn that. I teach you about that. You can subscribe to Mastering Probability, do that for 30 days or less than 30 days, and it doesn't cost you anything. But it establishes also support or resistance levels, where price breaks out of and where price breaks down from. Because I can guarantee you, nobody within inside the TFNN community, and I consider that to be some of the smartest guys in the shop out there, would never have picked $5.24 as the breakdown level on that weekly chart. Yet that's the power of this pattern. That is where price found resistance. So what we also know here then, Bob, is that a close above 524 would be a beautiful thing. And on a weekly basis, that would then establish an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside as well. Nothing out here on the monthly chart that I see that's helpful. I don't see anything on a 30-minute chart as well. So just be on lookout for some type of bearish reversal candle that would confirm a sell the D point pattern, and you would get some type of retracement out there. Could be retracement all the way back to its oscillator and change line that is currently printed at 473. So thank you very much for the request. Let's go to our next request out here, and that is from Brent in Martinez, California. He wants to take a look at two instruments. The first one is AMD. So let's actually read the question out here. And it goes like this. Happy, wonderful Wednesday. Thank you. Same to you, Brett. Could you please look at AMD? I am long from the mid-70s, not 1970s, the price point of mid-70s. And it looks like to have the volume for a break of its swing point to confirm an A to B equals CD pattern. 1-1 price projection you believe is around 85. Would appreciate your notes on that. And natural gas, if you have time, which we do. So let's take a look at AMD. So first, what Brent is referring to is the swing point out here from the trading day. This was also a wave number 7 top from December the 1st. That had volume at 59 million shares. As of 11:30 in the morning, 2 hours of trading, this has done 65 million shares. So yes, you have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside inside of AMD. So let's go take a look at that pattern here. Let's draw in, as we do, the A to B point. So you can see a wave 7 and Rhodes momentum indicator bottom takes us up to a wave 7 and Rhodes momentum indicator top. Got to love that pattern out there. That's another one that I teach you, and you should want to know that pattern most definitely. Now, if we take that A to B line, we attach it to the C point. The price projection here, Brent, the 1-to-1 gets us up in that 84-ish, 85 level, which is what you had identified. 81.47 is TD 9-count breakdown resistance, so watch that area. A close above. That's really where price stopped today. The actual high inside of AMD, 81.37. TD 9-count breakdown, 81.47 out there. So everything looks pretty good. Again, a bearish reversal candle. Something to be watching for as price approaches that 85 area out there. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame chart here for AMD. Taking out a swing point. The swing point has volume there of 309 million shares. It's only Wednesday, and we are at 185 million. So it does appear that if the volume keeps up, Brent, you'll have a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern on the weekly chart as well. Now, its TD 9-count breakdown level, that would be where it would be gunning for, would be 97.60. And voila, on the monthly basis, what you have is a TD 9-count bottom. So everything here for AMD looks very good. I'd stay with that position out there that you've got from the mid-70s. If we take a quick peek here at the 30-minute time frame chart, what should you expect intraday-wise? Well, you've got a TD 9-count top. And that would suggest that price would pull back to around the 77.98 level, about where it had gapped up from this morning, but that is the oscillator and change line. So everything looks good other than a ultra short-term chart that says expect or anticipate a retracement or a pullback out here. So, Brent, thanks so much for asking about AMD. Now, you also asked about natural gas. So for natural gas, what do I want to do? Well, let's do this. A couple of things. First, let's just take a look at the multi-time frame set of charts out here. Here, we can see natural gas on a monthly basis below the lows from 2021 out there. Not a great scene. The weekly chart, you are in bar number 8 of a TD 9 count. That says we could see a bottom form between this week and 2 weeks from now. I believe that is the week that ends around February 17th or so, something like that. And here on the daily time frame, you can see it did have a TD 9 count bottom. That support level, though, was at the 268 area. We're at 256 right now. So a close below that negates that signal. No Rhodes momentum indicator signal present, but it looks like we might have a second wave number 7. Is that a second? No, that's the second wave number 7 pattern out there. So there is the potential, Brent, for price to form a bottom out here, that wave number 7 pattern. Of course, as you know, you need a higher low before that gets confirmed. I think you're waiting for the A to B. You're waiting for a bullish reversal candle to confirm the A to B equals CD pattern. I'm totally on board with doing that. As I look at a 30-minute time frame chart, price right now is in the process of potentially closing below a hammer candle, although we do have 22 minutes left in the session. But if you did get a close below $2.57, that negates a 30-minute TD 9 count bottom. It's a close below a hammer candle. That says prepare for lower price. If we take a look at the 60-minute chart, it's already negated. It's TD 9 count bottom. So, yeah, this does look like lower price, most certainly. Got to be concerned. Got to be aware of that 7th wave move that is present on the daily time frame. If we change charts, which we're going to do, and we're going to go take a look at the A to B equals CD patterns, I'll pull them up here momentarily. I believe I have those natural gas charts. Just let me find them. Can we do it before the break, Stevie? That would be nice. Natural gas. Here's the A to B equals CD patterns. The next price objective, not too much further down. Oh, I've got the wrong contract up on my screen out here. Let me change that. We get back from this breakout here, Brent. I'll give you those A to B equals CD price projections. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the charts here for natural gas. We've got the March contract up on our screen out here. You can see the A to B equals CD pattern that I've identified on the daily and the weekly chart. Those are the upper panels that you're looking at. The next price projection area is $2.16. So, again, we're looking for a bullish reversal candle to confirm that pattern. Of course, you'd love to see that on the weekly time frame as well. Brett, I also noticed on the weekly time frame while I was pulling up the charts, the consolidation pattern. That price is broken through. And we can see that what that does, that creates a measured move. So price typically when it breaks through consolidation, folks, it should make a measured move equal to or greater than the consolidating pattern out there. Well, turns out that consolidation pattern takes us down to about the 216 level where that would complete. So it's logical that that's the area for us to be paying attention to and to watch over the next many trading sessions out there. So I do hope that that helps you out, and thanks so much for your request. The next request that we have out here is coming from the Tiger's Den, and it is McGuppy. And he wants to take a look at ticker symbol mRNA. That is Moderna, obviously. Let's go see what Moderna is doing out here. Let's get the right charts up on our screen. And the question goes like this. I sold my trading position at much higher levels, but still have a profitable long-term position in a taxable account long-term support levels to buy more or sell if broken, please. So you're looking at long-term. So for long-term, let's take a look at the weekly time frame. McGuppy, and the reason is, one, you've got a TD9 count pattern out here. That formed in December. That actually completed December the 23rd out there. And what we have right now, you're having a bad week or bad day, bad couple days. But what price is doing is it is trading with inside its bullish structured weekly profile. So your question was support. Support is between 160.51 and let me get that profile level for you. Let me get the correct number. 167.55. 167.55 to 160.51 is your area of support. If price were to close below 160.51, not on a daily time frame, close below it on a weekly time frame, then that signal to you and I would be that price wants to go target the 118.31 level. That is its TD9 count breakout area for the weekly time frame. If we look at the daily time frame, which also formed a TD9 count top recently, we can see that price is trading below support. Support is the TD9 count breakout area. That's at 171.40. If price closes today and tomorrow below 171.40, well, what we'll know is we don't have a one-hit wonder, and instead what we have is potentially an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now, the swing point on this takes us back to the trading day of January 6th. Did 3.5 million shares. So far today, you've done 2.2 million shares. So this is signaling to us that if we do get a close below at 171.40 today, not only is this going to negate or is it going to break through a breakout area, it's going to confirm an A to B equals CD to the downside. If we take a look at where that confirmation would take us to, or that price level, where the 1-to-1 gets us down in about the 161 and change area. That does not mean that's where price stops. This could be more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, with 142.65 being another place to look. Now, price is trading into a swing point. That's from December 12th. And that had swing volume of 5.2 million shares. Again, today so far, in about the first 2.25 hours of trading, we're at 2.2. So it could have the volume easily to take out. You're pulling back into a swing point with volume. So it closed below that low, 162.78. Well, then that would most certainly tell us about the 143.65 area, McGuppy. So I hope that helps you out. But right now, you were asking about intermediate term time frame. So it's those first values that I gave you, which was the bullish structured weekly profile. On a monthly basis, 155.36 may be your area of support. So I hope that helps you out. Real quickly here, let's take a look at Moderna. Moderna is this is bar number 4 to the downside, it looks like, and just recent downside moves. It has not extended beyond a 5th bar out here really for quite some time. 5 consecutive sessions out there. So this should be, you should see some type of short-term relief. That doesn't mean that it's a bottom, but if you do see that relief, then you can come back and say, well, that's really just part of the normal trading pattern that Moderna forms out here. If we look at that, go back to these charts here. On the monthly basis, Moderna formed a Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. And I don't have a, do I have a, yeah, actually you've got a TD9 count bottom on the monthly time frame. So that low is real critical longer term, which is at the 115.61 level. You get price below that, Moderna is headed back to $13.53 out there. So I'd be careful with this one. I'd be careful with this one based upon, well, you know where the support levels are. I provided you with what you need. You'll be able to make the right decision from that information. So thanks so much for the request, and you have a wonderful Wednesday. G-Man inside our Tiger's Den, he wanted to take a look at ticker symbol ACLS. No, I'm sorry, LPSN. ACLS is the next one up. So LPSN is what? I'm not sure, but we're going to find out here momentarily as soon as Stevie can get back to a screen out there, and he'll type in LPSN. And LPSN is live person or liver person, but live person. Having a nice day today, a big gap to the upside. Volume in this move right now today so far, which is trading out at 14.98. The volume here is about 1.6 million shares. Going against a swing point that is taking out that did a total of 1.5 million shares. So you've got some nice volume there. What was the question, G-Man? Can you look at it? We're looking at it. And looks like this wants higher price. In fact, you've got a larger A to B equals CD pattern. Whoa, Stevie, hold on a second here. Today's going to become bar number 9 of a TD9 count, G-Man. So you could see a short-term top form between today and tomorrow. If I take a look at that A to B equals CD pattern, that is now forming on the daily time frame. Let's go see where that takes us to. Again, we drew in the A to B point. We'll just move this over to that nice TD9 count bottom. That is the C point here. So that says about 1572. So what I would expect is I would anticipate that live person makes a further move higher tomorrow, 90% of the time. Now I take that back. 10% of the time, when you get a confirmed TD9 count, it'll go on to form that bar following bar number 9. I'd say with the volume today and the gap to the upside, that is a more likely outcome then saying that today would be the short-term top. Of course, we're going to go take a look at the short-term time frame charts and see what signal they have. You like the weekly chart. Now, not because of where it is on Wednesday, but hopefully because of where it is on Friday. And if you get it close above 1413, then you will have taken out a TD9 count breakdown level. Now, the weekly volume on that swing point was 8.2 million shares. Again, just the beginning of Wednesday, we're at 3.7, so it's got a chance to take out that swing point on a weekly time frame as well. On a monthly basis, you've got resistance at 1621 or thereabouts. Lastly, the 30-minute time frame here for live person shows us what? Shows us that you could get a TD9 count pattern, bar number 8 right now, but price must spike above the high of the day. The high of the day is 1527. If it can do that between 12 and 1, then you'd have a short-term, or could have a short-term TD9 count top out there. So that's what I see when we take a look at the live person chart. So beautiful day. Expect a top to likely form by tomorrow out there. Again, I come back to those intraday charts, though, just for the confirmation that, in fact, it's doing that. Because not every TD9 count is going to identify a top out there. Sometimes they just simply fail and tells us about strong momentum. And with a gap up and volume behind it, that's a possibility out there. So, G-Man, I hope that helps you out with regard to live person. Thank you so much for the request. We come back from this break. Looks like we're going to look at ACLS and SCCO. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. folks. So Leonardo has two requests out here. One was for ACLS, the other is for RIG. He's looking for buy points on these. So if we take a look at RIG out here, you can see that today is going to complete the TD9 count top out there. If price closes above today's high, whatever that is at the present time, today's high is $7.23. That'll negate that signal. Otherwise, expect or anticipate a pullback, though, even though it's going to confirm that top. Price above the top of its daily profile and its green oscillator and change line. So, Nicholas, the signal here is neutral. Where's the buy point? I don't know. It could be as simple as 620 or 662. I would wait to see how this thing, how this TD9 count pattern plays out here, and I'd be watching these short-term time frame charts for that. So that's what I'd be doing. When I take a look at a 30-minute chart out here, I don't have really a top at this stage here, but I would be patient on RIG because of that TD9 count top, and let's come back to that at a future date. Your next request was to take a look at ACLS. If I take a look at ACLS on a daily time frame, what do we see out here? Really daily, weekly, or monthly? I don't see any kind of tops. I see price trading above profile levels. And its green oscillator and change line. Those are all bullish conditions out here. You're looking for an entry. Again, other than playing the momentum move and jumping on board, diving to the deep end with your nose, we've got to wait for this to form some type of top and then pull back out there. So that's ACLS. Let's go to the next request. That's coming from Hector, who wanted to take a look at SCCO, Southern Copper. We look at Southern Copper. This on a daily time frame has a TD9 count top. That formed on January the 18th. Price right now is just consolidating sideways, trading with inside its profile. Support at 71.35, resistance at 77.28. No topping pattern on the weekly chart, nor is there one on the monthly. The monthly is running into resistance at prior swing points, such as April 2022. Resistance stands at 79.32 out there. Hector, hope that helps you out with regard to Southern Copper. By the way, earlier in the day, if we take a look at the 30-minute chart, we saw a nice move to the downside. Where did it find support? At 72.45. That was the TD9 count breakout level. So everything looks pretty good here for Southern Copper. Just a consolidation after forming a TD9 count top. Lastly, let's see if we can get to this. This was for ACB or Tilray. We've got ACB, Aurora Cannabis. This is for Nicholas as well. Nicholas, you've got real resistance at $1.06. That's the TD9 count breakdown level. If price can close above that, then you are off to the races to the upside. Now that would be $1.18 or $1.44. Folks, thanks so much for joining me here. Stay tuned for great programming. I will see you on terrific Thursday. Please have a wonderful Wednesday and be safe out there.